Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by George Wu, and he's going to share with us his idea today. And yeah, we're just going to get to know him a little bit. So thank you so much for joining us, George. How are you feeling today?
Good, good. How about you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for asking. So, what is your software? Talk to me.
Yeah, so one of the things that I have thinking about is basically, so right now with since COVID happened, right? So
Mm-hmm.
remote work has been becoming more mainstream, and one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest challenges is navigating all the complexities of regulations, taxes, all these different things, and
Yeah.
managing employees across different areas. So the
Mm-hmm.
people have teams to actually do that now, right? So one
Yeah.
of the things, hey, that could be a really big need and big ask, right? Because how can you easily figure out where your your employees can go, what are the rules they
Mm-hmm.
need to follow, what are things they need to not do, and all these different types of scenarios. So for
Yeah.
me, it's more like, hey, let me provide a service, a product that help companies determine where they can send their employees abroad and how to
Mm-hmm.
manage remote work environment, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people want to work almost anywhere, right? And provide that flexibility will actually major benefits for the employers. One
Mm-hmm.
is employee retention, of course, right? That's a
Yeah.
benefit most people don't can get. And second of all, that employers will also be able to easily cut down on their costs in navigating the complexity when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
business travel, all these other things. So a
Yeah.
combination of both on the cost reduction as well as employee retention, I think that will
Mm-hmm.
help companies navigate this remote work environment across the globe more
Yeah.
effectively.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So you mentioned across the globe, it's not just like a US thing, it's for people that are also working remote offshore. Is that the case?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So
Of
are you a
course,
remote worker? Oh, sorry.
I was saying that of course we have to target country by country. We cannot tackle every single country at once, right? So
Well,
definitely
yes,
country by country for sure.
definitely. I mean, they have different regulations and stuff. It's just that it's nice that you are understanding that remote work doesn't necessarily mean the US only. It can be remote outside the US as well, which it is most of the time. Cool. All right. So, are you a remote worker? Have you been in the remote space for a while?
Yes, I have been remote recently. Just changed remote recently, and
Okay.
and then even when I was trying to work during remote abroad, I ran into a lot of challenges because
Mm,
they say, oh, there's too much risk. We don't know what's for sure, just in case that happens. Because there's random places, like for example, China, as
hmm
I think the most stringent I read. Because at any point, the Chinese government said, "Hey, you've been here for 7 days working. You need to file a company right away," and it's
mm,
charged with a hefty tax fine, for example. Right.
yeah.
So I think depending on the country, it's very different. There's no one size fits all. Some
Yeah.
people say, if five, you're only going for like 30 days, but not every country is okay like that, right? So there's a lot of
Yeah.
nuances um, that contribute to that.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, what is your vision for the business? What's the long-term goal? Are you trying to, integrate around the world sort of processes that would assist remote workers? Or, yeah, what's the long-term goal?
Yeah, I mean, the long-term goal is kind of map out almost every single country, right? Based on
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal. So the goal is that at any point you want to go to anywhere, you know exactly what that will look. And so it's kind of create like a stress-free environment, knowing that you always
Yeah.
be covered versus like, oh shoot, am I doing everything right? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do taxes? Do I need to do like, oh, how long can I stay? Right? I think
Yeah.
those two are the main thing. I think answering those two questions will probably alleviate a lot of stress because if you say, okay, if
Mm.
I don't stay beyond these days, I'm safe, then just make sure you don't stay beyond that and just don't go back, right? And you cover
Yeah.
most of the issues. And then if you do, then it becomes more complicated. So I think for me, I suppose try avoid the ocean, making everything right. I mean, eventually that'll be great, but definitely the medium long term, that'll still take a while. I think it's like how many days can I stay in each area without having any issues.
Mm, yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. So what are some of the challenges that you're facing currently before you've launched, the software?
I think the biggest challenge is the rules and regulations because if you're not a lawyer, looking through all the regulations, documents. Sometimes language is not even that clear. It's not like layman
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
So for me to parse through all that information to be difficult, that's one. And second of all is where do I go get the information, right? So is the information specific database? Can I link it to the government's website? Is that going to create an API? All that you can say it's more like the challenges of getting the most because things can change up to date as well. How can I get the
Yeah.
latest information, and how can I interpret that information and accurately populate that, right? So
Yeah.
the main challenges, one is the software component, integrating with different government agencies. And the
Yeah.
second part is having knowledgeable staff that actually can understand all of these terms and regulations. So that
Yeah.
allows um, um, like that making sure that like everything that's happened is up to date. The worst that can
Mhm.
happen is you think something like this, and then you go, and then actually it changed like 2 days ago, right? And then
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, I'm now out of compliance. So that's
Yeah.
the I think those are the biggest challenges. I would say definitely need a lot of help.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. I mean, those are definitely, serious issues because obviously, if we're trying to, assist people in this department, like with taxes and with regulations and rules like that, like you got to make sure that you're up to date for everything really, and you got to make sure that you know more than the consumer because then what's the point of getting on your app otherwise. So I like that you're aware that those are the some challenges that you need to face, and it's great that you're understanding that and you're navigating that. So yeah, my next question would be, would you be open to collaborating with people within the community that would be able to assist you with that, like lawyers and regulations, accountants and taxations, tech developers and things like that?
Yeah. So I think definitely, I think the biggest thing I would need help on is a relationship to with the um uh um I would say the
Government.
government, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that can we build something that allows to pull the information without
Mm,
impacting the security of their infrastructure. And usually with
okay.
government, it takes a while to get onboarded.
Yeah.
So a combination of those things will probably be very um, important, I would say, for help beyond just the building and parsing the information. I would say
Mhm.
just making sure that we also have that access to the government picture. We can build something, but if we cannot connect to the database, then it will. Someone have to manually check every single document, right? And that's not
Yeah.
feasible.
Yeah, understandable. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, George. I love the product. I see the need for it. It's definitely something that would be amazing if it was out there. So I wish you all the best in launching. And yeah, it's been amazing chatting to you, and we'll connect again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.